wanted to, branch out a little bit, past these couple of bills, talk a little bit about the aviation industrial base, just broadly. How healthy do you think things are right now?
Are you talking about just defense industrial base as far as aviation, or beyond that?
Just a defense industrial base. Yeah, it's completely different, right?
Yeah. Well, you have some overlap.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the incentive. If you're looking at the EX, we need to make sure that the producers have the incentives to add additional lines. If they know that in 1 year you might step things up, but in the following year you might not, then we're just going to live with delays forever. But if you give them a longer term, multi-year procurement contract and a vision for the future, then they might do CapEx to invest in increased production, add a second line. It's not an incremental increase, it's an exponential increase to do that. And why would the producers have the incentive? So I don't think you need to have mandates necessarily, but you do need to create the incentive structure and the taxpayer benefits, because you're driving down the cost for each unit when you do that, when you give somebody a longer term view.
Yeah, excellent. So I've got about one more question with you. Want to bundle in kind of everything having to do with the defense budget right now.
Sure.
You have this $350 billion request for reconciliation for defense that's kind of sitting out there. We've got a supplemental, not really sure how much that's going to, encompass. Unclear when that's going to be coming down the pipe. I guess, what are you hearing? Do you have concerns that these different pathways aren't going to align and that there could end up with some sort of funding gap in defense? The reconciliation request in particular has a lot of aviation in it, money for F-35s and F-35 modernization. Are there things that you're concerned about just as you kind of look at the congressional schedule and everything that's kind of on the docket to get through?
Well, when you start squeezing the calendar in an election midterm year, there's less time here and more time in our great states. And so that means less legislation actually gets passed. That's a concern. When also you're talking about that much money, I want to know specifically where is it programmed, what is it for, and what's missing and what's in there that shouldn't be. And look, other members may disagree on that, but I want to, before I commit those types of dollars on behalf of North Carolinians and the rest of our country, I want to know exactly what's in there. So let's get specific before I really weigh in on that. But I think that investing in our defense is actually good for our economy. It goes right back to production here in our country. In North Carolina, we're second and third tier suppliers, a lot of those. So I'm fine with that, but I want to know exactly what we're buying when we're talking those kind of dollars.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much, Valerie.